Ah.
But there's this one where he goes. And there's like,
It is the worst branding I've ever seen.
You're not seeing what we're seeing.
Wow, 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 wow. And 3, 2, 1.
Hey everybody, we're in Ixonia. I'm here with Chad the Alcoholic, CW Weeks, and Senor Cebola. And I'm Grim Grims. Grim. Whatever.
Grim Briz?
Grim Briss.
your bris would have been a long time ago.
I got my savings throws though, so you should get some too. You get to choose survival, social, wisdom, or heart. Choose.
We get to see him.
Hey, look guys, what's that?
That's a 6.
A 6 for survivalist. Socialist, on the other hand,
Oh my god, it's a 2.
that is a 2.
Hope you got your bonuses.
Lovers of wisdom.
14.
That's a
Nice.
14.
Very nice.
Card folks, that's a 9. Let's see what the indigo did, guys. You guys can see this. Look at that.
Oh,
That-
yeah.
Oh, that's a 3. You guys got the Trinity today. Welcome. This is what you've paid for. Like, I don't know if you in particular are watching, but at least some of you have put money into a link to put me in this garage. Thank you very much for that.
It was also in the basement. That was the deal, to put him in the basement.
And the kids' room, Grim's just been all over the place.
Yeah.
And the whole house, almost.
Almost, yep.
Scaring the dogs.
Oh, look, there's chat we can't read.
Well, here, we can get the chat up.
Load up the chat, Chad.
All right, I'll load the chat. Yeah, so it was, what was quite interesting was, well, it's all been quite interesting, I thought. But Dolly is terrified of Grim Grizz, which is hilarious.
First dog I've ever met that was scared of me.
Which is, you know,
She just knows that you're the alpha. That's all.
I think she has a crush and she was being shy, but everybody else said it
probably
was fear.
Oh, that's weird.
Oh, I see Dr. Lenny in there.
We got Dr. Lenny, we got leftovers? Yes, we had leftovers for breakfast.
Yes, we had prime rib and eggs for breakfast.
May they continue to do so.
So choice.
We'll take questions from anybody in the chat since Chad's reading the chat. Ben, you're the least famous in this garage. Why don't you...
All right, so we all met here in Chad's lovely abode down in Ixonia, Wisconsin to have a discussion and an estuary meeting. How many people were familiar with the estuary format, Chad, would you say?
Let's see, there was 12 people.
Yep. Okay.
I think 9 were familiar with it.
And there were 4 alcoholics, huh?
Yep, 4 alcoholics, yep.
So they have previous meeting experience that probably helped out.
Yes, I think it did actually help out a lot.
All right.
Laura Freeburn made it down, but she had to take off last night, so can't be part of this live stream.
It's because her husband came, but he wasn't going to stay that long, you know? He's got responsibilities in the real world.
Normies can't stay too long, otherwise they turn into one of us.
Yeah.
So,
Well, oh, Teo, we got some Teo, he's got FOMO at an all-time high. Well, I mean, it was great. It was, yeah, so, I don't know. What should we talk about?
Let's talk about the fundraiser to get me anywhere but here. You see, when I set goals for travel arrangements, I don't always appropriately plan And so we'll be accepting donations today for those of you who would like me to broadcast again from my original studio at some point.
I don't know what to say.
Tell them about Sam.
Sam was very interesting. So one day I get an email from Sam. And Sam is, he ended up finding my channel because of the ridiculous Oliver Anthony video that I made. And when I ended up making the invite for the denim dinner, he was the first person to actually contact me. And he said, I don't know why I'm doing this. It sounds kind of terrifying, but I'm in. And the car is actually locking itself and unlocking itself. I believe it's possessed. We did go to church today. I took communion. These guys, not so much. So maybe that's what's happening.
It's got to be the tracker they put in your phone, Grim. It's messing with the cars.
It could be. Yeah, it was a Lutheran affair. Even this one didn't because of the real presence the Lutherans believe in.
On the other hand,
And explain to everybody what they mean by it.
What are you doing?
We've discussed this earlier in the car,
What are you doing?
and you explained it beautifully. I'd like everyone to know.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would prefer not to speak. The reason that I abstained from the communion was that it noted that believers in the real presence, which refers to a very specific Lutheran reckoning of the sacrament, were welcome.
Of the communion sacrament.
Correct. Yeah, and I have, some questions, let's say, about that doctrine, so I thought that it would be best for me to.
Right, but it's like a scale you said. The different religions have as far as like communion, where one is it's just symbolic, and one is that's actually
Yeah,
his
needless to
flesh.
say, it's a higher view than I would be inclined towards, generally speaking. Let's put it that way.
So we'll say that like regular communion is just you're eating crackers and wine, and like on some faiths that's like it literally transforms, I don't know, in your mouth or at some point into flesh and blood. Is that?
I don't know why you're looking at me. That's not my view.
Well, isn't that the real presence you were talking about?
Yeah, it's closer to transubstantiation and what is more maintained in, and I shouldn't even say this, 'cause you're gonna get me in trouble with all this shit.
With whom?
But
God will forgive you. What kind of trouble are you worried about?
from everybody. Because if I say that it's closer to the Roman Catholic view, then all the Lutherans will be pissed off.
The Lutherans and the Roman
If I-
Catholics
if I
don't even
say-
watch this
If I
channel.
say I'm not comfortable with it for that reason, then all the Catholics are going to be pissed off. So,
Well, my car doesn't have an alarm, so it's not me.
The assassins are trying and have failed.
It's that they're using the electronic weapon like, clearly, and the vehicles are protecting
that
us.
was in the liturgy with the assassins, remember
There was assassins in the liturgy,
Yeah, and may they fail to get you.
that? Those who,
always. No, wait, what assassins were in the
I think
liturgy?
it was in the reading from the Psalms, right?
Yeah.
Oh, the Psalms had assassins. Yeah, the
Just
Psalms.
for Grimm.
That's so weird.
They didn't call me up on stage to speak at all, which was a relief.
I was
Truly.
surprised myself, actually.
They baptized this baby and he paraded her around. That was kind of cool.
Oh, the song was nice too.
We sung This Little Light of Mine, but only the first verse because nobody can remember the second one.
Is there a second verse to This Little Light of Mine? If so, please let us know in the comments right below your donation.
Right.
So Grimm was telling me, he was like the doxology, that's like the study of doxing people, right?
Yeah, I do words. Ology usually means the study of, and doxing we all know.
But then Grimm Grizz essentially doxed himself in the journal of this church. So if you want to know his true identity, you have to come to Ixonia, Wisconsin, look at the register.
That's, well,
And
or
you
click
will-
on the link
you
in the
will know.
description that takes you to the right page. But yes, there's a historical artifact now in the church preserved, I'm assuming for all time, at the Lebanon Lutheran Church.
Lebanon Lutheran, yep. It was, I don't know, the whole thing for me was great all around. So Yeah, so like, okay, we'll just do that. So like, so what'd you think of the whole thing overall, as far as like the meeting and was it weird coming into town, and how was that? Were the dogs kind? Was my wife a nice lady, or she, you know?
So,
They're not leading questions at all.
not at all. No, being from Wisconsin and having lived here almost all of my life, I felt like totally at home driving from where I live in central Wisconsin down here to the southeast. And I thought, this town looks like many I've passed. I'm happy to finally have an opportunity to come in here. Having heard of it from my coworker years ago, the story of Ixonia, which Grim shared on his channel a while ago.
What was the name of that little Mary?
Piper.
Little
Little
Mary
Mary Piper.
Little Mary Piper. We still haven't figured out it.
I'm just curious, like, if there's historians that followed the rest of her life and what else she went on to spell.
It's just such
Yeah.
a specific.
She became a witch, didn't she know?
Let's name that.
No, so I felt right at home just from the beginning. I felt like I was at a lost cousin's house, actually. And I like the mix between estuary formality and just, you know, a little nod to your
Thank you
okay.
for calling it a format.
format. And, you know, a little Alcoholics Anonymous talk, and then just sort of general chit-chat to get the ball rolling, get everybody in the right mindset. And the food was delicious, so.
Cool. Thanks.
Let me see your turn.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess I was most surprised when Chad took off his mask to reveal that there was another mask,
That is true.
just like it underneath.
I have a question for you. Were you able to secure a 5-star hotel in Ixonia?
Is that directed to?
You. It
Well,
was
why is
CW.
that directed to me?
Because you're a supervillain. And as a Grim Grizz stream exclusive, this man slept with a koala last night.
I call
That's
him,
Batman,
I
not
call
this
him
man.
Mr. K.
Mr. K
Yeah.
is
There was no homoeroticism in spite of the gender.
Just in it was
Just-
just in the naming.
Just to be clear, it was perfectly normal.
everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Is
Oh,
apparently
that's
verse
right.
number 2.
We have sung it before. It's just sometimes we have like a group mind wash where we forget it. But we have sung it before. Sometimes we'll sing the first verse the same as the second verse, which is the first verse.
And sometimes we'll say, third verse, same as the first, and break into Henry VIII.
That's right.
Because we get mixed up.
So what else shocked you, or what else would you say?
Well, yeah, I'd say I feel like I have these existential crises whenever I go to these estuary meetings. I don't know if this is, it's probably not the right time to bring this up.
It's the perfect time. Van Donk is probably like tuned in to see what it was like. And if people are getting existential crises by attending estuaries, we need to address it immediately.
Yeah, it's interesting because they're, at least in this particular grouping, in this particular moment, there was a kind of a deep sorrow, I would say, and foreboding about much of the discussion as we were kind of placing our interests on the table. I would say that was a common theme, was the sort of angst. Although Chad beautifully summed it up when, in the stage where we were supposed to vote for which contribution we would like to discuss, Chad said, I think they're all the same, which was not helpful at all in terms of
Yeah, there was 11 different people.
proceeding.
He counts 12 somehow. I counted 11 people.
It's the whole
And we all put something on the table, and Chad said, it's basically all the same.
It was.
Yeah. Although Grim had a very specific
I
personal.
don't know that we're supposed to talk about
Personal, yeah,
what happened in the
happens in
estuary.
That's probably true. Yeah, we don't want to get into the specifics.
Okay.
We
But
can
it's
say
okay to
that
talk about my existential crisis.
Yes.
But
yeah.
what generally.
But your
happens-
existential crisis is unique to you.
Well,
It's your
I don't think we
personal
got to it. What about like just the
Well, now I feel
angst
like
of
I
the
shouldn't
discussion?
talk about it, but-
No, I'm just saying, is it like that that we were all like the state of the world. And like I'd say that like one of the neat things about Estuary is pretty early on, you get that it's a safe place to talk about what you really think, and that led us to like, okay, compared to what we grew up with, the world is
Changed.
it seems to be going in the downhill. Is that the nature of the existential crisis?
That's part of it. I think it was a kind of poignancy in the sense that I felt like most of us have a deep longing to give ourselves over to something. But as we look around us in the world, there's nothing trustworthy enough to do it. And then there's a sense in which the beauty that comes out of that burden is that we then, as a kind of last resort, make these fumbling efforts to give ourselves over to each other, if in nothing else, out of that despair. And then from that emerges a kind of hope, or at least resilience. Something like
That's pretty good, yeah.
It doesn't sound like an existential crisis to me.
Mm-mm.
that. Yeah, well,
Because hope emerged. At the end, and then the hope emerges. Okay.
there's always a payoff for the existential crisis.
How about you?
Well, I've learned that it takes a lot longer to drive places if you stop at the occasional casino and or make videos you have to wait to upload the next time you're in a town.
But not to gamble, just to be clear.
Well, I don't go there for that purpose.
Right.
I go there to see if
Others are gambling.
No, I go there to see if the journey itself is going to be blessed by providence.
This makes me think of the movie Empire Records. Has anybody seen it?
That's the one where they do the fake funeral for Liv, right? Or
Yes.
it's not Liv, or they do a fake funeral. Oh, for the other girl, it's not Liv.
Yeah. Renee. Yeah.
It's not Zellweger.
Yes, it's Renee Zellweger.
No.
I'll bet you all of the money that was donated in this live stream that is Renee Zellweger.
All right, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. You have a chance to double the money that's been donated to this live stream by correcting Chad here that the actress that had the funeral at Empire Records was not Renee Zellweger. I'm sure of it.
It's absolutely Renee Zellweger.
It's more likely Parker Posey.
So, and then but what reminded me of this casino bit was in the very beginning of the movie. What's his name? The character's name. He takes all the money from the safe because he wants to save Empire Records, and he takes it to the casino and loses it. This is hilarious. What you're about to do when you find out that it is in fact Renee Zellweger.
Well, I didn't bet the money donated to the
Well,
live
that's
stream.
true. Let's see what we got here. Yep. Liv Tyler. Yes, Liv Tyler and.
But
Renee
the other
Zellweger.
girl. What? Not Renee. It wasn't Renee.
It is Renee.
Hey, Rascal.
Rascal.
Arc Organization?
Nobody's gonna
Oh,
help us out
Paul's
here.
Arc. No. He said, did the existential worries extend to the Arc thing? I don't know why I called it Paul's Arc Organization.
Well, he was there. He was at the invitation only.
Well, Paul owns everything, right? He's like the shadow patriarch.
Yeah, he's the
Shadow
true Shadow
Patriot.
Cabal.
What? He's a member of the Shadow Cabal. I don't know if you've joined this channel, but Paul Vanderklay has. I don't know if it's in reciprocity for me joining his channel and it's just kind of an exchange, but who will take him next? Anyway.
So what else did you find interesting or whatever?
Well, yeah, that's just the driving, right? And I ended up showing up late. I was barely in time for dinner, but I was in time for dinner. 11 seemed like a lot for an estuary. I think 8 is about how much I like when those happen.
It's only 5 for me.
You like estuary of 5?
I mean, it's 5 hours. I thought you were
Oh,
talking about drive.
no, I'm talking about people.
Yeah, that's not 8 hours.
No, it
for
took me
this
like 2
drive.
days to drive here. It took me 2 days. But it just seems like it's a whole lot for everybody to hold in their head, going all the way around the table for that many people. And like some people just clump all of that into one thing.
That'd be chill.
it didn't feel like it had a proper close.
Yeah, we kind of.
Like everybody just got like.
There's no benediction.
Well, there was cake, so there's some.
Oh yeah, that was the
There
close.
the
We had
let
the
there be
estuary
cake
cake.
moment.
Yeah, then we had kind of the post-estuary.
Yeah, that was just the fellowship.
Yes, very nice.
Fellowshipping.
Well, and that might have been my favorite part, to be quite honest. Was the discussion that we had kind of after the group kind of whittled down and we got to talk more specifically. We didn't talk about. We just kept laying new stuff on the table and things like this.
But that was. It seemed to be like just personal sharing
Mm-hmm.
of like anecdotals and whatnot.
Nobody's giving us the answer about a red pill. Wasn't it Renee Zellweger in the movie Empire Records and Liv Tyler for Rex Manning Day?
Oh yeah, Red Pill was here, which was stupid interesting because he's the guy that I got the car impounded when I was gonna go visit him in Oklahoma City, by Oklahoma City. And it turns out in the interim, he's moved up here to Wisconsin and was able to attend this estuary, which is just, people are pulling strings, I suppose.
It was great. Well, he lives. I guess he lives closer. Like he only lives like 38 minutes from me.
Yeah. He
Which
could have
is-
came back for the stream, but he's too good for us, I guess.
So I'm hoping to hang out with him more when and just the hope for me is that I'm able to do more stuff like this. Whether it doesn't have to be at the house, but I do want to have an estuary meetup, maybe once a month or something. And so, obviously we're not going to have prime rib and stuff like that all the time, but it was so enjoyable that for me, anyways. Yeah. Anything else? Like, what'd you think of? We could talk about the misses if you guys want. I think to me, I'm just gonna say this right now. I think for me, she was the real rock star of the whole show. She's just. I don't know. I told her last night before we went to bed. I said, I'm just gonna tell you that I think you're kind of a trophy wife. I'm just saying. And
We didn't want to wheel her out here for
yeah.
the stream, but
I don't feel betraying any members of Rick's family about whether or not they exist, and I think that in Anne's case, I will continue to pretend that.
yeah, that was the first thing you asked me. Like, Chad handed me his phone, and he's like, "Oh, it's Grimmy wants to talk to you."
It's like, is Anne real?
That was you're like, "What's it like over there?" Then it's Anne. Is she a doll?
Is she
That's-
one of those?
That's what
one of
it
those
said.
real
Is she a
dolls?
doll?
I don't. There was that movie
In
with
a
the guy.
manner of speaking.
Oh, with Ryan Gosling.
Yeah. I thought that Anne might be one of
Is
those.
that she? Is it called She?
Talking about Barbie?
No, it's Lars and the Real Girl.
Lars and the real girl. Yeah, I thought Anne might have been a real girl, and it was a pleasant surprise being there for that to get to the bottom of that mystery. I'll
Yeah.
leave it like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it is interesting. So, and then the other members of my family, Rigsby, Rigsby is the blonde dog, and that's exactly what it is. It's a total like, hey guys, what's happening? And he's just wiggly all the time. And then Dolly, I think Dolly was kind of just overwhelmed with all of the popes that came in, and then like Grim Grizz was the last straw. 'Cause she was just like, oh, this is fucking insane.
It's a bridge too far.
And I thought that she would forget, by the next day and just think, oh yeah, well he's been here a long time. Nope, but she was fine once we brought her over. She would let him pet, but I think she just sees something really holy in you and it's too big for her.
Could be.
I thought that dog was just trained to detect anti-vaxxers.
It might be, don't tell anybody that.
It's extreme revulsion.
Like I told you that in confidence.
And now. Oh, I do have a confession to make. I've been toting around the Jerusalem book in the back of my car to give to Pastor Paul at some point, and since Sam had flown all the way from Seattle, I guess, to come be for this, and he seemed to like to read. So I gave it to him instead. You're gonna have to get your own copy, Pastor Paul, but I think it's in good hands.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll do him some good.
Yeah, I really like Sam a lot. There's another guy that I'll have a relationship with, just a good friend I can be calling on and talking with, and that's what I don't know. When I walk away from this, it was the first thing was that I was really grateful that happened was I was able to make dinner for you guys and have fellowship. I made dinner for you guys, and I was like, that's goal achieved. Like, that was number one for me. The second thing was just to see everybody interact. There was didn't detect any small talk anywhere, which was kind of interesting. As soon as Sam got here, CW was the first one here. He came in Friday night. No small talk. We just got right into stuff, and then Sam was the second guy.
Well, Chad opens up. He's like, "What do you think is base consciousness?"
Oh yeah.
How was your opener?
Yeah,
This is a small talk.
This strange concept of that I had running around in my head about. I'm not going to get into it. It'll be too much to get into, but I'm calling it base consciousness. Anyways, CW and I talked about that on the way to the AA meeting, which he did attend, which was an open meeting, and I was excited to share that with him. And then I was excited that my internet friends got to meet some of my real life friends, and I was curious how that would all go. And I was really happy that I got to share the church experience with them this morning. It was just like, I don't know, it felt like the best show and tell event I've ever had in my life of like, you guys gotta check this out. And like, I don't know, it's just, I'm so grateful that you guys all decided to do this, because it's impossible that this would ever happen, right?
Well, it was impossible for me to be here without these people.
Yeah.
So, you can thank them.
You guys, it's really cool. And last night when I dropped Sam off, he said, well, there's obviously going to be one in 2024, right? And I said, well, yeah, we'll have to do that again next year.
Sam, we're coming to you.
Now that's an idea. Do a traveling.
Well, I'll go to any
Dinner.
estuary that the folks are willing to send me to. Really.
True.
I just wanted to visit Seattle.
I do want to say that according to the hive mind, they're backing your "that was Renee Zellweger," and I'm like, no, it was the scrawny girl that was sad, but
And it was a scrawny girl who was sad, whose name was Renee Zellweger.
she's never been scrawny.
Yes, because after that she did that other movie with what's his face?
You complete me. That's what Renee Zellweger is.
Yes.
The you complete me lady.
Yes, and that's Jerry Maguire. But then she did a movie with the guy from Notting Hill, which is Hugh Grant.
That guy from Nottingham.
Yep. And in that movie she plays an English woman. And
Isn't that the guy from Paddington though?
I don't know.
Thought he was.
So this is what things devolve to after an estuary, and we have all the meaningful, deep conversations.
Small talk comes after.
It's like, what actor was that again?
This is not small talk. Don't you ever say that. This is important. Renee Zellweger. She was classic in that movie, in Empire Records. I love that movie. What's the dude's name? Warren. Warren is the kid that goes kind of crazy in that movie, right? Yeah. You guys have to watch Empire Records. I don't know what else to say.
No, but
You got a card for them?
ooh.
Empire
Casino card.
Oh, you want to pull a card? They deserve it. No, I'm not doing this. This is a weird ass thing.
Oh.
I bought the official Crystal Casino deck. So we need to do that.
Sound like the Crystal Cathedral at all? Or?
No, it's like the crystal thing that Alice Walton is building in Bentonville. No one wants to talk about. Oh, okay. So this will probably be it for this live stream. I'm gonna try and make it back to Oklahoma, I guess. And that's maybe 2 days. We'll see if it happens. I might do an occasional stream on the way, just to ask for money or something. The casino card for the show, though, is what is it?
It's the Joker.
Oh, it's the red one though. That's the red Joker.
Supposed
That's
to
the good
take
one.
The Joker's out.
You don't understand.
That's crazy.
I've never
This
understood.
is crazy. So
Okay, so Any last questions before I get up and press stop over there? Dolly says, I wish all of you could come here to South Africa. Why?
Stop
Make South Africa a nice place and then we'll come.
Hey, now.
Maybe UBS can host an estuary. How about visiting Mercury? That's up in Canada, Daniel. I don't know if anybody else, if we're allowed to cross the
I
border.
can't go to Canada.
I
I
can't
have an
cross the
enhanced
border.
license actually, so I can go without a passport.
KJ, I didn't bring the Blue Church deck. It didn't seem like that kind of an event. Robin Tunney was in Empire Records as well, and also The Craft. So maybe it
Yes.
was her.
No, it was Renee Zellweger.
If it is, then I've slid into an alternate universe and I
Well,
want
how
to go
many
back to the normal one.
Donations did you
Is this
get?
the Bernstein Bears problem?
I've seen a picture of a video cassette that has it spelled correctly on it.
That's how I
Ah.
feel about John McAfee. Everybody keeps saying his name in some strange way today.
McAfee.
It's like, yeah.
Oh,
Mac-
yeah. People were saying McAfee?
Yeah, what the hell is going on?
I was pretty certain
always
that
been
Colin
like that.
Powell
Now
died
they
in the
killed
90s.
No.
You can't even-
I know, but I swore I saw a news thing about it, you know, like the whole memoriam thing or whatever.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, I have great news. Josh says when society degrades, his family farm will be open to all of us, which is really great because I had no idea where we were going to go when it got bad. I thought we were going to have to do like that cult that did in Oregon where they just all moved to that small town and then took it over because they had the voting power afterwards.
Oh, Rajneeshpuram.
Yeah, that guy. I
Yeah.
mean, he prototyped how to
111
do it.
Rolls Royces, was it?
We could do that right here in Ixonia. We'd like,
Yeah, room for
I
Rolls
do like-
Royces right out there.
One of the most amazing things about Wisconsin is like at some point, if you go deep enough into it, the streets turn into letters. And like on the way to the church, we passed the CW road.
County CW.
So if a sign goes missing,
yep, so you have state highways, those are numbers. Then you have interstates, which are numbers as well. And then you have county roads, and the county roads are numbers.
letters.
Letters. Yes, letters.
So did he salvage the Georgia Guidestones on this farm so we can reconstruct civilization in the appropriate manner?
He did not.
No. See, the thing with the Georgia Guidestones, I don't know if you guys have heard this, but there used to be these things that some mysterious figure put up in Georgia called the Georgia Guidestones. And they said, hey, let's keep the Earth's population down to about 500 million. And everybody,
Fuck that up.
no, see, and everybody like, oh, what they're trying is evil. But that was just their warning, and they weren't going to start until they broke it. And now that it's been
Now the
destroyed, the
clock
plan
is
is in
ticking.
action.
It's like the christening or something.
Yeah, like it was like the champagne
Yes.
bottle on their plan of a ship.
Yeah, like break this in case of reset.
Yeah.
Right, or in case of fire, right. Which is makes me think of a Taproot song. I don't know why I have all these references in my head. I have a weird card we can bring out. Let me see.
It was Antelope before it was Rajneeshpuram, before they renamed it.
Was there?
Antelope.
Oh. That's
Here,
hard.
What are you getting at?
I'd like you to just pick one.
Plus,
And
you're
then
not
read
gonna
it.
show the God mask? I feel like that would be cool.
Fine. I'll go get it.
Now read it.
Think again. CW is gonna read it.
Yes, read it.
I gotta go get a God man.
Okay, strategy. Life continually surprises us. Problems spring up in places that were trouble-free only just yesterday. Opportunities suddenly arise in long, stagnant arenas. Routines that yielded predictable results stop working. Heraclitus reminds us that nothing is permanent, and we shouldn't become slaves to our assumptions. We should also remember that, like the sun in Heraclitus' epigram, our own state of mind is also continually changing. Some days you may be alert and lucid, while others you may be angry or mentally exhausted. Sometimes you're optimistic about what's just around the corner, and sometimes you're filled with melancholy about the past. All of these different states of mind color the way you think about the problems and opportunities before you. There's a question for discussion. I don't know if we want to.
Might as well, man. What's the question?
What issue do you need to rethink? Is the idea you reacted against yesterday really so bad? Does the idea you fell in love with last week still shine? What would benefit from a fresh look?
Well, thanks for bringing out the card there, Chad. That's a great one.
You may have this deck.
Innovative whack pack, it says.
This is now yours.
I will accept this. This gift was a gift from CW, which, what tribe was this from?
Oh, that is.
That was from Chad.
No, this was from him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gave you the
You
German
give me a book.
existentialist novel.
That's right. I'm sorry, I'm overwhelmed. I'm getting too much. It looks like my mom. Oh,
So this is a gift that somebody, a friend in
yes, you re-gifted me something. What was it?
This is a friend of mine named Kent gave me this. They go to Belize every year, and this is a hand-carved god mask.
Literal godness.
And they gifted it to me one year, and I felt that because I have many gifts from my friend Kent, that I would re-gift this to my friend Grim Grizz.
And because Grimm wrote the great allegorical essay on the God Mask, which you can find on his Substack, by the way, most important piece of writing he has produced, according to himself.
Yeah, that is the most important piece of writing I've produced.
Yeah. So everybody should check that shit out. John Van Dock. I was like, it'd mean a lot to Grizz if you read this. He's like, oh, email me what it is. I'm like, fuck you, John Van Dock.
He
You
sounded,
made a little bit of goddamn fucking effort.
Hey,
he sounded exactly like
hey,
him.
I had never imagined such a thing would emerge from CW.
Wow.
It's just a little bit of care, man.
You better not have treated Mr. Koala in that way.
No, he's
He's
not
like
an
laying
artist.
next to Mr. Koala. Listen.
I tell you, this makes me think the Belize people are very small people.
Mhm.
But
With big hearts.
Well, if you had a shrunken head, then it would be quite
oh, now I get it. That makes sense. Man. There we go. Wrap up.
Is there
I'm
anything you'd like to say in conclusion?
Well, I'm thinking. I want to thank you guys for making my wife feel more at home than she was at home. Or
2-year anniversary in this house.
yes, it was the celebration of our 2-year anniversary. Here's the thing. I wanted. We bought this house so that we can have fellowship with people, and the basement. And the table that we had down there was intended to be exactly what we used it for. And so on our 2-year anniversary, we actually got to do that, and that was really great.
It was your or the 2 years of the house.
The 2 years of our home.
Oh, wow. I didn't even realize what a special event we were attending.
Yep. And you guys were just such great friends to come and hang out, and I'm just grateful. I have nothing else, man. It's great. I could probably quit the corner forever now and just be happy.
Yeah, now that his wife is finally comfortable with the weird internet people,
Yep.
has met some.
Now it's time to cut them off completely.
Now we have to find something else weird to get into.
Maybe wrestling.
Wrestling? No.
No?
All right, me and Ben are gonna go wrestle in the back. Anything you want to say in conclusion, CW?
Yeah, well, I do want to say to Sam in Seattle, thank you very much for coming all this way, and it was an absolute pleasure to meet with you, discuss your thoughts and feelings. And yeah, you really helped me open up and draw myself out to these strange people, so thank you for that.
I just think it's cool there's people that look like Hodor living in Seattle.
I thought he kind of looked a little Jim Gaffigan-y.
Yeah.
Oh,
But like if Jim Gaffigan was a badass, right?
Mm.
But like not trying to play it, because I've seen Jim Gaffigan try to play a badass,
Yeah.
but it just looks like Jim Gaffigan trying to be a badass.
Well, yeah, Jim Gaffigan was like a boxer,
Like
which
yeah,
Sam is.
right. Like if Jim Gaffigan was actually a badass boxer, this is kind of what he looks like,
Yeah.
which is a very handsome.
So I hope we do Seattle 2024. Let's make it happen.
I don't know, you just call him Jim Gaffigan, we probably can't go now.
I didn't say that shit.
I think it's
Some
charming.
people won't get invited.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
How about you?
I'd say thanks so much. The food was great. The conversation was better, and it's really lovely. So you're a lucky man.
I am.
Amen.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
And thanks for all of you for making this possible and most of my life. All right.
Okay, bye.
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 What the, how do you, maybe, yes?